Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Phantom.Strategies. So today is September 9th. It's about 5:45 p.m. Eastern here in US. I want to give you a video update on Tron TRX, and this video will mainly talk about a longer term time frame of a monthly and a weekly chart for Tron. I want to start creating the longer term time frame because in past few months we have been seeing a lot of noise as far as the market is going up, it's coming down, it's not able to figure out what it wants to do. So there's a lot of a range bound trading that is going on, and a lot of the viewers that I have interacted with, they want to see a longer term view on the coin that they have been trading. More of these coins are well known coin in the community. They have a good reputation, they have a good team behind it, and they want to see a longer term view for this coin rather than day-to-day trading for this coin, or range bound trading. They want to see at least 4 to 6 months picture for a coin, how it might look. Now I want to reiterate the fact that when you're looking at the long term analysis or long term pictures in this crypto coin, a lot of things might change in that duration, because you have to understand we are in a very infant stage of the market where a lot of things move up and down based on a news event, on any regulations, any hack that might happen on an exchange. So there is a lot of event that do move this coin, but at the same time, when we're starting to see that even after all that event, let's say if all the negative events that are happening and the coin or the price action is not making a new lows in the market, that's usually a very good indication that at least for the short term, when I'm talking about short term, I'm talking about next 4 to 6 months, that we have seen those bottoms for the coin. Before I jump into the analysis, I want to give you an example of the recent the recession we had, a global recession we had back in 2008. So back in 2008, we had a global recession where a lot of the majority of the the banking sector was down. Lehman Brothers closed out. A lot of the bank, Morgan Stanley, they were gone. Bear Stern, a lot of those bigger name banks pretty much died out. Okay. During that time, if you have been trading for long enough, if you remember when those kind of news were coming into the market, when they were hitting the wire on CNBC that Lehman Brothers were applying for bankruptcy, Bear Stern is closing down, market was constantly making the newer lows. You look at the futures in the morning, and the futures were down 400-500 points. So those news event, when that happens, that means the news haven't been baked into the price action. Okay, that news is being looked as a very surprising news to the overall market, to the trading community. But when that stops, when those kind of news event don't make the price action goes lower, that's when you know that all the negative news that were supposed to be in the market or baked into the price action have been baked in. So that's a very strong indication that the reversal might be around the corner. One of the subscriber asked me a question, I think, in the comment, and he was trying to ask that when do we know that market will turn around. So my answer to him is a simple answer. When you look at the go to the CoinDesk, go to other other website like CoinDesk, I think it's other one is CoinGraph or something. There are a couple of well-known digital media website for crypto, and if you look at the headline for the headline news on those websites, and they're quite negative. But if you see the price action for Bitcoin and the major coins, if they're not making the near lows in the market, that's usually a very good sign when the market is trying to make that U-turn where the negative news or negative events have been baked into the price action. That's when you start seeing the value in the market. That's exactly what happened back in 2008 when one of the bank, Wells Fargo, they acquired Wachovia. This is I'm going a little bit off the topic, but I want to kind of give you a little bit more background on the events that took place in the history that will really guide us going forward, because that will kind of give us a navigation on how people react to the news, how people trade, because behind all these things, behind all these numbers, it's all it's human behaviors, it's human psychology, human emotions. Behind all this trading, all these candlesticks that you're seeing, behind all that is human pattern, human thinking pattern. And human thinking pattern is always what happened previously usually happens again. It's very, history tend to repeat itself. You want to learn from those lessons that have happened even a decade ago. It's very very relevant. So back then, Wells Fargo acquired, the Wachovia was going out, and they pretty much bought over. And I mean, it was supposed to make, a lot of people were expecting that market's gonna make another near low because it was coming to the retail banking, but it never happened. And we were we started taking the U-turn, and a lot of it has to do obviously with the Feds pumping in money in the market, but that did not come until later on. So the lesson, what I'm trying to tell you is, when you see a lot of negative events in the market, negative news in the market, and if the market is not making near lows, that's a very good indication that market have really baked in the negative news into the price action of the coin. Okay, all right. So sorry, I went a little bit overboard on giving you rather than talking about Tron. I wanted to before we dive into Tron, I wanted to kind of give you the psychology of how and when we should be looking into the reversal, because a lot of people are asking me about when is the right time to look for the reversal. All right. So Tron, I'm gonna look at the weekly for Tron right now, just to give you a bigger picture rather than going day-to-day points. Okay, so for the weekly right now, Tron is coming near a very critical apex where it will have a move. Let me just. It will have a pretty significant move coming up fairly soon. When I say significant, it needs to have some kind of support from the market, and it needs to have some kind of event support as well. So that needs to happen in order to fulfill this kind of this sideway triangle, and it's coming near the apex. Apex is when the price action range is coming very close, that it becomes very tight. The trading range becomes very tight, and based on any news event or the market positive or negative news, based on that you will see a break out of this resistance pattern, where it will have maybe nice bounce and can easily go up to 4 cents or perhaps even higher. But we have to wait and see for that. So one thing that I wanna talk about Tron is for almost a month, for almost last few months, it's been very much in the trade bound range. You have I'm seeing a lot of dojis, inverse hammer. The pattern have been the sell off. This was mainly due to the market sell off. Then another doji. So it's not that it's the coin have any fundamental problems. It's more of a trading that is done because of the overall market sentiment. Okay, so in the case of Tron, people know it's a speculative coin. People know it's a very newer project, and newer project tend to have risk involved with it. Obviously this project have much higher risk than you trading Bitcoin, because Bitcoin have been like one of the first coin, and this one is like obviously came much later, and like the project is different. Fundamentals are different, so there are a lot of things that are like that are different, but what I'm trying to say is like the basic principle of the coin, the fundamental of the coin, it is still getting implemented. The project is still getting worked on, so that will take some time, and it will have its ups and downs. So it's just like any startup projects. All right, the one thing that you always want to look for the startup projects is the team behind it. All right, white papers are good. It give you good understanding on what they're trying to achieve, but I have said it plenty of time before, white paper are as good as the team and the project behind it. If you don't have the team that is driven, or have a nice vision, or ability to implement the project, then it's not going to work out as well. All right, technically speaking, it's coming to an apex, so we will see some kind of momentum in Tron. Let's see how it pans out, because if we have a nice up market, then I can see Tron breaking out of this upper resistance and easily going toward the 3 cents and perhaps the 4 cents mark in month of September. Okay, so that's Tron right now. It's one of the coin that we have covered since it was trading around 20 cents. That's when I was saying that it have really reached its peak for short term, and that we have to wait for its reversal. We had a really nice pattern right here back in early around the February-March time frame, where it was making this nice cup over trying to handle creation, but again the market wasn't supportive, and that cup with the handle formation never fully took its potential, and we never broke that resistance, so it never never had a follow through. Okay, so a lot of this pattern, it's not a complete pattern until it has a follow through. So remember that. All right, just because it's like let's say if it's a falling wedge, it's not a falling wedge. It's not a follow through of that pattern until it breaks out of it. Okay, so do remember that. So that's pretty much it, guys. I wanted to bring you a little bit longer term pictures for the coins, and that will hopefully give you a little more get you away from daily grind, which can be frustrating and very depressing on a mental level as well, because a few days is up, few days is down, and it can really drain out even the professional traders. So I can imagine a lot of people who are just doing this on the sideline. It can be very frustrating. Okay, if you're new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you think this is helping you with your trading, with your investing in the crypto market, then please do give me a thumbs up. That really means a lot. Keeps me motivated in doing this content review for you guys, and just show your support by spreading the word to friends and family. All right, that really helps me in making this video on daily basis. All right, that's all for right now. Talk to you soon.